Hey, Cedric here, Primal Punch here. Alright, coming at you, I'm going to show you what I call a ladder technique, as in a ladder. And this is for exercise, okay? This is a technique that has served me well in strength building no matter where I apply it. Okay, we all know about progressive resistance, progressive overload, all that stuff, okay? Now, the ladder technique, and I'm going to try and stay on task here, stay on topic, and I'm going to make this mostly about grip, because that's my newest obsession as far as strength building, okay? So, the ladder workout, you start low, alright? Well below anything you would even call your max, something you can just rep out really easily, okay? It's going to work best with your adjustable grippers. Alright, right now you can get, there are different iterations of the Robert Baraban adjustable gripper on eBay. I would not recommend buying them from Amazon at their prices. You can save money by getting them on eBay, like that. If you buy the green one, be aware that it has smooth grips, so you'll want to get yourself some grip tape for the palm side handle. And I'm going to say that the smooth handles for your fingers are going to be better than these knurled ones, which they eat your hands up pretty good. You know, you'll build callus, but they eat your hands up at first. So get yourself some grip tape if you get the green one. You can get that one now, I think like $70 shipped on eBay. So the ladder technique is going to work best with your adjustable gripper, alright? But it can also be done with your regular set of torsion spring grippers, okay? You have to have, you know, at least one, but it's better if you've got a couple, you know, where it gets progressively more difficult. Now I'm also going to show you how you can make your grippers, you know, if you only have one right now, how you can make it more difficult for yourself and easier. Alright, for closing, you know, we just want to get that in our hand and everything, and my hand's pretty beat. I just got those used Captains of Crush that I scored off eBay, and like this, my hands are pretty beat. But this is just your little 100, okay? And we're going to close that. The ladder technique, you're going to do high reps with that lowest weight. Alright? I like to start out with 20 reps each hand of one that's just, you know, you can just go and go and go. So you do 20 reps with each hand. Now if you have the next one that's progressively more difficult, then you do 20 reps with that each hand, if you can, okay? If not, then what you can do is slide this down in your hand so that you're choked up on it, the one that's really easy for you. And now you've just made it more difficult because you're moving your point of pressure higher, so it's you've got less leverage, so it's going to make that more difficult. So you do your reps out that way. All right, we're climbing up the ladder of resistance. Now we're going to continue to do so. Continue making it more difficult on yourself, whatever that means. Okay. It really does work best with the Baraban gripper, and I just start at the bottom. That's what I do. Now today, I did move it up one. I started at level 2 rather than level 1, and there's a reason for that. I had gotten these, the used Captains of Crush grippers, 2, 2.5, and a 3, and I really felt the need to push harder. But I still did the ladder technique. Started 2, I did 20 each hand, 2.5, you know, where it's one is on 2, one's on 3. I call that 2.5, 2.5. 20 each hand, 3, you know, 20 each hand, and then I took a big jump up, where usually I would do 20 with each one until I hit, you know, where I can't do 20, and then I just go to failure. I go to failure as I get up, and I am able to progressively do more. Each workout I see my gains. I only mark the numbers down on the highest ones, you know, maybe the highest 2 settings that I'm able to make it to, and and like that. And today I closed 8. Just bam, I slammed 8. I was able to slam 8 on this, number 8, level 8 with this new spring of mine, and 8 stopped me cold just a couple workouts ago. And I was also able to rep the Captains of Crush number 2. I was able to hit a few reps, pretty close set, maybe an inch, but still able to get 2-3. So the ladder technique, alright? The science behind this, okay, is I believe that the bulk of a workout, to gain that bone deep endurance where we still have strength to go, because rarely in nature are you ever going to be in a survival situation where all it's going to require from you is a singular effort. Just one heavy effort, and then the emergency's done. Alright? That's why I don't do a bunch of 1-rep work. I don't do that 1-rep max. I want to build up that endurance, and that's what I'm doing here. That's what the ladder technique does. That's what the Zombie Fighter Django, which I've now renamed, okay, the Primal Workout, because the name kind of turns a lot of people off, you know, and I want it to be more accessible to everyone. But you build that endurance, okay? You're working your way up, and if your hands have gone through all this lighter work, just like something you would do every day anyway, you know, it's not any more effort than you would maybe do if you're pruning the bushes or like that. But you're working those high reps, okay? High reps, low weight, and you're not doing that damage to your hands or any other muscle. You know, you're building this strength from the bone out. You're building it just deep, long, lean muscle with endurance that you'll still have something in the tank. Alright? So you rep out. You know, you do your 20 or 10. Start out with 10, okay? Because that's what I started out with the what they call the weak spring, the silver spring that comes with this. I started out with the silver spring, and I just laddered up, and now I can credit card. You saw the video. I can credit card set the weak spring on level 10 because I've been repping up with this. I laddered up, okay? So you do that. You just work your way up. Set yourself a number for reps. Let's make it at least 10, okay? 20's better. If you've got an adjustable gripper, you can really do that. And you know, there are other adjustable grippers depending on your level of gripness, of grip fitness. You know, there are a lot of things available out there. If you don't have the $60-70 to drop on a Baraban adjustable, you know, there are other options out there. And there's always the heavy grips. You can get 100 through 200, you know, 3 grippers for $30, or you can get yourself 1 gripper and just choke up on it to increase the difficulty. You have options, and of course there are ways to build your grip without a gripper. You know, I've showed you some of those where you can roll. You know, you're holding your bar up for your shrugs, roll it down to the end of your fingers, and then roll your fingers back up. That's basically the same movement that you're making when you close a gripper. Alright? And using the ladder technique on that, you would start with a lighter weight on the bar, do high reps, you know, and work your way up in resistance, and then when you hit the peak where you fail, okay, where you are incapable of doing it, you ladder back down until you hit it where you can again. You're doing it to failure every time until you get to where you can do 20 or 10, whatever number you've chosen, and you just ladder down to the least resistance, and you're done. You know, this technique doesn't require heavy negatives or anything like that, because your hands are doing this bulk work. Alright? And by the time you get to those high weights, your hands are well warmed up and they're even a bit tired. So if you're able to You hit these higher numbers after your hands have done hundreds of reps. You see what kind of strength that is? And then you're able to ladder back down. You'll be amazed at the gains that you make. And you can use this in any kind of strength training endeavor. You're going to build a much more dense and usable muscle that can just go and go and go. Y'all have seen me? I towed a wagon 11.5 miles. 150-pound wagon with a 150-pound dog in it. You know, uphill. I'm able to do that because of how I train. Alright? It's not just genetics. You know, genetics play a bit of a role in that, of course. But if I was just doing a powerlifter's workout or just doing Zumba, I would not be capable of doing the things that I do. It's like not specializing, I guess, but being well above average in every area. That's what comes of this kind of workout. So that's the ladder technique. Super simple. It's reps. It's all about the reps. Alright? So we bang them out. Bang them, bang them, bang them, bang them, bang them. You know? Lost count. Anyway, and keep it even, okay? As much as you can. And you'll find your offhand building a lot of strength. You'll be really amazed. Man, my hands are beat. Whew. But I still got some left. You work your way up, you know, and then back down. So check it out. As an example, let's just see, okay? Because I've done probably about 500 or 600 reps today on this and on those Captain's Crush. Like 500 reps each hand, easy. And I took it up here, and like I said, I was able to close 8, and I was also able to close 8.5. Just with the right hand, of course. So let's just see if after all that beating, if I have what I have in the tank, if I have anything in the tank, alright? Let's see. Put the silver spring on. Let's see if I have anything in the tank. I'll even do it without chalk here. Let's see. Silver spring level 10. I still have some in the tank, for good grief's sake. Alright? And I wasn't able to rep that 10 spring up there like that, you know, even just a week ago. These are the kind of gains that you can make. Now let's see if I can even hit this with my offhand without chalk, with coconut oil on my hands. A new buddy of mine recommended it to keep the hands from tearing, and I'll be danged if it don't work. Got the dogs trying to lick my hands though. I don't think they touched, even on the first one. But you get the point. I've still got a bunch left. I've got grip left. That's a coup. Alright? To get a hardcore workout, make personal records. Alright? And still have some in the bank. Or in the tank, rather. So, the ladder technique, it has worked for me. And again, not again, but I want to talk about goals in fitness, okay? What are your goals? Are your goals to have an enduring strength? Are your goals to be able to 1 rep max just massive amounts? Like that. And of course, you can bleed these over into each other, okay? If you're a power lifter, you can still incorporate endurance building into your workout and become an even more well-rounded athlete. If you are someone who is, you know, a runner, just a pure endurance athlete, you can incorporate strength training into and become a more well-rounded athlete. I think that we can all really benefit from exploring all aspects of fitness, physical fitness. That's it, the ladder technique. That's what I really came here to show y'all. Just figured I should share it. This is the way that has worked for me. You guys saw me. You know, in 1 week I was able to go from 19 handstand push-ups to 31 handstand push-ups. In 1 week I was able to make that increase. And that's utilizing these techniques, okay? I highly recommend ladder technique. You want to be able to train smart, and this is a way to do that. Alright? You're less likely to harm yourself if you're not just trying to slam out those 1 rep maxes. And if you push a weight enough times, it will become an unbearable weight where you can get that strength workout along with the endurance workout. If you reach a weight and you've pushed it so many times that you're doing this and it's your last one, and you get it up there and you've got that deep, swole up muscular burn, you are building strength, no matter what anyone tells you. Okay? So, there it is. And that way, you can be strong and capable well into old age. You know, what's the point of being strong if you're going to be crippled up later on in life? You know, if you don't get to enjoy your 50s, your 60s, or 70s, or whatever, you know, because you're just all ginked up because you didn't train smart. Food for thought. I freaking love the Robert Baraban adjustable gripper. I have to say it again, alright? And I just can't get over it. Super sturdy, super well built, and these are my new springs. I do have a couple more left for sale. These are $12.50 shipped in the US. These are harder than the silver spring, but easier than the gold spring. It's a good middle, but it's got a really consistent draw all the way through. I think I've got 3 left for sale or 4 left for sale. I'll have to check. I'm just loving these springs. Super cool. But Robert Baraban adjustable. It has taken my grip game just to a whole new level. But you don't need it to build grip. You don't even need your grippers. What you need is to just start. Find things around that'll make you work that grip. You know? And there's lots of stuff. Now remember, to make this progressively more difficult, it's easier when you've got it down here, okay? Pinky just on, you've got that good leverage and everything, and it just drops shut really easy. You can make it more difficult by just scooching up. And now it's just gets harder and harder. Alright? Until you've got it where your forefinger's barely on there. You can make that gripper more difficult for yourself. And don't forget to do some inverted ones, okay? And those will help you for your set and keep your hand balanced. And never, ever, 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 ever forget your extensors. Alright? You'll find yourself experiencing pretty terrible imbalance and pain if you don't exercise those extensors. Alright? This will aid in your muscle recovery. Trust me. Alright? Just trust me. Trust me. So, that's it. At this point, I'm just like, just yakking at you now, huh? Pretty much like done with all the usable information, and now I'm here just like we having a taster's choice moment or a gal's night out or something. Alright, so I'm gonna let you go. Oh, a pair of dexterity balls. Alright, these will make a big difference for you. If you can't find a good price on them, you know, you can ask me, and I might be able to get a hold of some for you. I don't know, but you send me a message or hit me up, and I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can find a good price for you. So, that's it, y'all. Be good to yourselves, alright? Hold your heads up high. And just remember, okay, that you are worth fighting for. Alright? You're worth it, and I dig you. So live free and punch hard. Oh, live free and grip hard. Alright? I'll catch you later. Be good to yourselves. Bye.